and now for the dessert. You get to hear me. I wrote, some of you might know drama themes, and I've also, with my colleague Shelley Stagg-Peterson, wrote Good Books Matter. And a few years back, I did a little flip book called The Novel Experience, which was received successfully. So with Sherry Fitch wrote the Poetry Experience, and the third in the trilogy is the Picture Book Experience. And so you'll see that working with Shelley and working with Sherry has been enriching, because it's great to have good mentors and collaboration. And for my newest book, my dear friend Debbie Nyman and I wrote Drama Schemes, Themes, and Dreams. Where's the book? Where's the book? So so we have been working together for a number of years. Debbie's been a consultant in TDSB for a number of years. We first met in 1976.
I was 5.
And we've been teaching the AQ courses, so it was a privilege to write this book, Drama Scheme Theme. That's my PowerPoint. Okay, my Prezi. So we stand between you and lunch, and we're going to do a little activity, and we're choosing one chapter from this book. And it's interesting how it connects. We started with Catherine talking about the world of play, and the world of drama is the continuum of play to play, and also connecting it into literacy, the writing experience as well. And we're going to look at visuals, and we're going to try and synthesize some of those experiences in a little activity, okay? And these come from the book, and you can take them back to the classroom with different age groups for sure. The first activity, we're going to do a DPA activity. It's not a DPA, it's drama. Get into groups of 5 and stand with a group of 5. Quickly. 5. So say, I am a tree.
I am a tree.
Right. I want to be part of this picture. Tableau, still image. I'm going to come into this picture, and I'm going to say, I am a leaf on the tree. Now you come into this picture whenever you feel that you want to join in. What would you, okay, you can come in. What would you like to be?
I'm a trunk.
Okay, so you've got the leaf and the trunk. You get to keep either the trunk or the leaf.
I'll keep the leaf.
Okay. Okay, you go back. That was a beautiful tree. Oh, my God, that gets applause. Okay. So I am the leaf. We want to make a tableau of 3. So I am the leaf. You're all looking at me. You come in and make a picture. Quickly, quickly, quickly. What do you want to be?
The sun.
I am the sun. And you come in. Anybody come in? You can come back in, Brenda. And you can come back in.
I'll be the tree.
Okay. Oh, they like that tree. So I either get to keep the tree or I get to keep the sun. I'm going to keep the sun. So I'm coming back into this group. We've got the sun. We're looking at this picture, and we decide, what do we want to be? You can be anything. You could be the sun's rays. You could be a cloud. You could be an umbrella. You could be an animal. 3, 2, 1. Quickly, quickly.
Okay.
I am
The grass.
the grass. And I am mowing the grass, okay? I'm the lawnmower. So you either get to keep the lawnmower or the grass. So give it a try. It's groups of pictures of 3. It still works with a group of 4 as well. Come in and say what you are, and the person who's in charge is the one who gets to decide. Give it a try. Is there any immediate questions? Immediate tries. Okay, we'll come around and help. Give it a try. Go. Oh, wait. The tallest person in each group is the tree. Go.
Just start with the tree. I am a tree.
What did you become? I'm a squirrel. And you're the tree? I learned that game in an improvisation workshop, and I've used it and adapted it. It's a fantastic game. No grade level. It's inclusive. Who's your ELL learner? Who's your gifted learner? It promotes communication, collaboration, spontaneity, critical thinking, creative thinking. If we look at the arts document, it has the creative process. You've been involved with that. So many of the things are accomplished. It moves into the theater form of tableau and also representing ideas. And it is the world of play. So we're not adults on a Monday afternoon. We're into that world of play. Really, the best thing with that is to keep it going for a long bit of time, because then the kids get a little bit more divergent in their thinking, and you want to encourage spontaneity. So you can replay it, you can do it with the whole class and come in. I call that game, I am a tree. Isn't that brilliant? And then you can do variations, and the kids can work spontaneously in different group formations, etc. So it's an introduction to our little journey with you in terms of drama. Games is a way in to build that social communication as well. And if you play that game, you've got your report card marked done for drama. You've started to do your report. Because we want to look at other aspects. As I say, it's dangerous because we could do a whole aspect of drama. And Debbie and I just had the experience at the Code Conference I was talking about, and we began with I Am a Soldier. So it changed the mood of the activity. It wasn't just a tree. And some people didn't get the instructions, so you clarify listening and how kids communicate. So that's one game that appears in our book. The chapter that we chose for you today is called Mother, What Was War? It's chapter 7 in our book. And we're going to do a little activity because one thing that Debbie and I both believe in is that you have to use source to begin your drama. Whether it's picture book, novel, poem, document, and we want to give you a taste of some that we've used successfully. So everybody gets a piece of paper. You're getting the same piece of paper, okay? Just pass those around there. Pass those around. I'm going to invite you not to talk for a moment, if you don't mind. And the other thing about drama that we both experience is that our success, particularly with elementary, is to weave the drama in the literacy curriculum and certainly in terms of content. We chose this not because November 11th is coming up. You can do War and Peace at any time. I came across this little quotation, and here's an activity that I've used and actually learned at a conference, International Reading Association conference, and I'm adapting it and acknowledging Linda Dorn. I described the activity in the book and also in the picture book experience. Take your sheet and fold it once, and then fold it twice. I'm doing it for you.
Thank you.
Okay. And for our purposes, it doesn't matter if you're doing it horizontally or vertically. And we are doing this quicker than we would do in a classroom because this is a whole language arts event. If you want, you can number a tiny number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That doesn't matter, but for our purposes, some kids need that instruction. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Does not matter which order you number them in. It doesn't matter if you go horizontally or vertically. So this is a poem. We'll talk about what makes it a poem by Eve Miriam. Let's read this out loud in unison. 3, 2, 1, go.
I dream of giving birth to a child who will ask, Mother, what was war?
And let's whisper it so just your neighbor hears it. And echo the teacher. I dream of giving birth to a child who will ask, Mother, what was war? In space number 1, I'm going to invite you to be quiet for a bit. In space number 1, could you write a thought that comes to your mind when you read this or hear this particular 14 words? It could be a question, it could be a text-to-text connection, text to self, text to the world. Just a reaction in space number 1. And finish that thought. Again, as I say, we're rushing it a bit just to demonstrate it. We didn't organize you in groups of 3, but I'd like you now to exchange. Please remain silent, you'll see why. Could you exchange it with another person at your group?
So maybe you can
Barry, could you just move over here just for a minute, okay? And what I'd like you to do is read what number 1 wrote, and in space number 2, could you respond to what he or she wrote? A new question, an agreement, a disagreement, you decide.
There, go ahead. I'll take this. No. Oh, but you can take.
We didn't formally organize you into groups of 3, but if you can have one more person read it who hasn't read it, and give it to that person, even if somebody doesn't have, we'll just move it. So give it to somebody who hasn't read it. And this is straightforward. Read what number 1 wrote. Read what number 2 wrote. In space number 3, give a synthesized response. And if you can remain silent for another 90 seconds or so, could you get your own paper back? Read what you wrote a few minutes ago. Read what number 2 wrote. Read what number 3 wrote. And in space number 4, has your thinking shifted or agreed? How are you in your response 3 minutes later than you were before? And in space number 4, write that response. And finish off that thought. And our invitation is for another 90 seconds. Could you chat with the people at your table about what this particular poem meant to you? We'll give you just a couple of minutes for that. And stop. I'm going to shift the conversation for 1 minute. Could you, with the people that you're talking to, talk about the activity itself. What did you think of the activity, and think of whether you had primary kids or older kids. Talk about the activity rather than the content. Give you 1 minute for that. Thank you. I want to tell you 3 things that's going through my head now. I would love to hear your conversation about the poem. I just need, as I did a group of kids, my first experience with this was the 4th grade. It was a demonstration workshop, and how they reacted to these particular words. No more war, no more war. There's never, ever, ever going to be a time where there's no war. What do you mean? There's never, ever, ever. And and I didn't want to be pessimistic with these kids, but why was there war? And that got into our conversation. You can have that utopian Miss America dream, I want world peace. There will never, ever be a time. Of course, we're very fortunate in our community of Canada to bring a different understanding, and we also recognize that in our classroom, many of the kids have lived this experience. So recognizing that is one thing about the content, and I would love to have that discussion with you. The second thing is, it was my thesis. Who wants to hear about my thesis? Just say yes. Back to me. My thesis was how kids respond to literature, and I would use reading response journals, how kids were doing it, responding and writing. In the middle of my thesis, it is a strange thesis, I realized that talk was more immediate. So I analyzed the talk that kids did, and I'd love to analyze, as I eavesdropped on your conversation, talking about, somebody said where I grew up, this was just like, and you were telling stories from your lives, so I paid attention to those conversations. And all kidding aside, somebody said, oh boy, we don't have to use technology for this, but what a great technology. Just listen, what do you think about this poem? And you will have them interacting through technology, whether it's a blog or emails, etc. So how do you have the kids communicate? I just raised questions then. Should the kids talk before they write? Should they write before they talk? How do you involve the community of 30 learners? Because if I just said, okay, what do you think about this poem? Just think of your kids of 5th graders. You know there's going to be the same kids putting up their hand. This gives them a chance that they can respond privately before sharing it publicly. My argument in the classroom is that you cannot not respond. You have to have a thought, boys and girls. You might have to give them a prompt. What do you wonder about? What questions do you have? And that's just called your literacy strategies teaching. So if you've done that, you don't have to feed them those prompts. Or they could just do an illustration. Have them just say, I wonder, and give them the prompt, and you can analyze how the kids respond to this. So unfortunately, I'm not going to hear your response to those as well. In the workshop situation with Linda Dorn, we did it with a picture book. So it works really rich with a picture book, and the kids can respond. And then I went to, on the same day, I went to Harv Daniels, the Literature Circle's premise, and he gave us a non-fiction piece of, it was about plastic bottles or something, and what we were doing with our plastic bottles. So it's great for persuasive writing because we were sharing our views then, and we passed it along. So that's how I experienced it, that's how I borrowed it from, stole it from those educators.